You touched, Shane, on George North there. It was great to see him, almost back to kind of 2013 Lions law. I know it's, one game in the Challenge Cup, but, it was positive in the centre against Italy as well. I spoke to his former coach yesterday, Iestyn Thomas at Llandovery College, and he was looking and he says he looks like he's just hunger back. Are you sensing that he's perhaps a little bit looking to prove a point? Because some people have questioned his position in the Welsh team, haven't they? But he was excellent at the weekend.
Yeah, look, it gets a bit daunting, doesn't it, when people are asking questions? Has he lost his hunger? Has he lost his form? Has the bottle gone? Etc. Etc. And we've all been there as players, trust me. And it gets a bit overwhelming at times, and it does affect your confidence, and therefore affects your performances on the field. And we haven't seen the best of George North, and I think he knows that. And you can sense kind of in his interviews and his attitude that is right. I'm not going to listen to the press anymore. I'm not going to worry what people are going to say. I just have to perform on the field, and I think that's the difference now. He gets. I watched him against Benetton as well a couple of weeks back in St Helens. He was much better. He was involved in the game a lot more. The hunger. He's using his feet a lot more rather than trying to run over people. And he was looking great, and he looked like he was getting back into form. Therefore, he was selected for Wales. Had a good game in the centre. And obviously against Worcester, especially in the second half, he was kind of flirting in and out of the game in the first half. But second half, couple of great ball carries on the right flank there, 2 lovely offloads, cut flaps out the side. You do that when you've got confidence. When you haven't got confidence, you keep hold of it, and then you make sure you do the tidy things well. And then, of course, he took his try really well, and you could see the Worcester defenders just stepping out of his way because they didn't fancy him. They could see it in his eyes that he was ready for that. So, I think, George North on form is one of the best wingers in the world, and that's what we all want in Wales. And I think who wants that more than anyone else is George. And you can see that he's trying to get back to that now. And, his interview up in Worcester was, look, I just want to get my hands on the ball. And we haven't heard George say that for a long time. So I think, he's not quite there. There's a long way to go with him, really. But you can see he's a bit more hungry than he was perhaps 6 months ago.
I think it was a genius stroke by Wales just to play him at 13. They could have easily gone with the options of John Davis, especially when I think Johnny Williams pulled out. But they stuck with him. And the thing, the way Wales are playing at the moment, wingers aren't seeing much ball. We're not particularly playing a wide game. We're not really dominating up front. So to be bold and pick him at the centre, I thought was really good. And for me, if there's one thing I suppose with George, sometimes we don't see him being as physical as we want to see him because he is big, because he is powerful. But against Italy, there was no outside breaks, but he offered himself time after time after time, got Wales on the front foot. And I think that Benetton game and that Wales game against Italy has really kick-started him now. All it needs is 1 or 2 games really to get yourself back full of confidence, to find your form again. And we saw the rewards then against Worcester. He's back playing with confidence. He's hungry for the ball. He realises, I think, after a couple of big carries, you sort of realise, you actually are a big carry. You can do some damage, and we're seeing that. So, real good, bold move by Wales, I think, to play him at 13, because we're seeing how good he is again now.